back to another episode of True Talks.
I'm Lena.
And I'm Charlene.
And we're your hosts for today.
True Talks, your way to a joyous life.
So welcome back. We have another guest today. Let's welcome Vincent.
Hi guys.
Wow, welcome. Thank you for that awesome intro. That was crazy.
So let's just get into his topic. Well, today we're going to be talking about his personal life. So we're going to be talking about self-love today. And just to, get up close and personal with you, we're going to be talking about your past. How or if did you see any value in yourself in the past?
No.
Could you elaborate?
Sorry. I say this over and over again, but it's okay for the viewers at home. Yeah. No, I didn't see any value in myself. I'm not gonna lie. And reason why specifically is just that I faced tons of rejection in my life. To this day, it hasn't changed actually, but it's okay. I faced tons of rejection in my life, and what comes out of that is just like, not feeling like you're enough. You gotta be like this, you gotta be like that, right? You gotta be like 6'3" or something like that. You gotta be, but yeah. And it's just like also it's just like my personality is kind of like out there. Like sometimes I could get a little too much. Sometimes I say some out of pocket stuff. To this day, sometimes I still do. But yeah, it's just like, I guess it's the way I am, even before. Like it's lots of things have changed for me, but specifically in the past, it was a lot worse, man. Like I'm still pretty immature. I'm still like working on it, but back then I was really immature, and then it caused me to not find like any worth in myself just because I was looking for someone else to give me that validation, pretty much, right? And then that's why I didn't see value in myself, is because of like pretty much rejection had a big part of it. Pretty much.
Yeah. And I feel like when you're looking for that validation through other people, the way that they see value is through the eyes of this world, right? And the standards of this world is very materialistic, very shallow.
Yeah.
So if that's what you're trying to find, it's very easy to not see that.
What was one of the hardest things to love or appreciate about yourself?
Honestly, everything, man. I do believe that I'm made in God's image. I can do anything, right? Like now everything goes back to God. But when you don't have Him in your life, literally it was everything, right? You're talking about image, you're talking about just things you can see. Things you can see, I'm barely 5 feet tall, right? Again, I'm not the skinniest dude out there, I don't got the straightest teeth, not the most good looking guy there. It's okay though, it's just the things you couldn't, the things you could see, right? And then the things that I was my capabilities, stuff like that was really hard, right? I joke around with people sometimes that everything I do I'm kind of mid at, right? I play basketball, but I'm okay, right? I can sing, but I'm okay, right? I can dance, but I'm okay, right? And I'm funny, but sometimes it's not that funny, so it's it's definitely the things you could see and the things you could experience. It was hard to, and that's all because I didn't have God in my life, right? And now I don't see those things in myself that is mid, I see them as, they're blessings, that I'm capable of doing stuff like that still. Yeah, pretty much that to answer your question is the things you could see and the things you could experience about me.
Yeah, and I feel like, I don't want to make this a generalization with guys, but I feel like y'all don't tell each other, appreciate each other enough, how much you appreciate
That's
each other.
true.
Why don't
Yeah.
y'all compliment each other? Like
Yeah.
at least like every time y'all hang out.
Yeah,
Like-
like yo, man, your haircuts
You're
so fresh.
like I really like
Yeah, I
your
wonder
fit
who did it.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder who cut his
Yeah.
hair, man. Look,
Dang, your kicks look flat, bro.
right? I wonder who bought them, yo.
Yeah, so I feel like you're definitely not alone with feelings like that. And like if you guys think about it, it's not that hard to just give people a compliment. You know, your friends, they're your friends.
True.
You know, like I can easily say to my friend, oh, I think that her eyes are really pretty. Really randomly.
Because they are. Yeah.
And they are. And like that helps with you know, validating like how you feel about like yourself and your self-image. Just like, you know, just like I'm just saying y'all could do that, you know? But back to the topic, I think you said that, you know, God, that was before you had God in your life, right? So how has God changed the way that you think about yourself?
So for me now, everything goes back to God. Every time I'm feeling down, every time I'm not feeling like myself, everything, just the thoughts always go back to God, right? And like I said earlier, right? We're all made in God's image. We're images of God. We can do a lot of things. We're capable of a lot of things, and He values us so much, like so much that He gave His one and only Son to die on the cross so we could live forever, right? And pretty much, yeah, He changed like the way I think now. It's just like, you guys know this, the thing I say, right? If you're sad, just don't be sad.
Yeah.
It's just like that it's because like I go back to God every time I do get sad, right? And not gonna lie, like I got humbled like a couple weeks ago or whatever, but it just, even that, I went back to God, because that's what fixed it for me in the first place. God, right? Because without God, I was feeling, like I was saying earlier, I didn't feel like I was enough, I wasn't like being for this world. It sucked, because I wasn't desired enough, I guess. But yeah, God changed my life, because everything goes back to Him. Even when I'm feeling down, even when it's like I'm not feeling like myself, it's always gonna go back to Him, like through all the trials. And
Yeah. So would you say you love yourself now, or you appreciate yourself now? You have value in
I
yourself?
definitely do. Obviously, it's still hard, because we live here, right? Most of the time, I mean, for us, like we try our hardest to spend our days with God every single day. But living in this world, it's still out there, right? Like, oh nah, you gotta be this, you gotta have that. It's still gonna be there. Why? Because we still live here, and that's what sucks, right? So I'm not gonna lie, it's like especially recently, I haven't been feeling like myself, but it's definitely getting better. Like just because I'm spending more time with God, I'm trying to spend more time with God for real. And yeah, I definitely find value in myself, because God did something incredible for me, right? Like, just going back, like I said, everything goes back to God. Like how I imagine it now, is just the first time, like about 1.5 years ago, when I found God for myself. That's when I experienced something incredible. He turned my life upside down, completely around. Right? And if he could do it then, why can't He do it now? Right? Like he's always gonna be there, always, right? So yeah, definitely, since everything for me goes back to God, I definitely see that value in myself, because I have God. People who don't have God, I'm sorry, but kind of have nothing. I'm sorry, but yeah.
Did you have insecurities in the past too?
I don't think there's a single person in this world that
Yeah.
doesn't.
Man.
Exactly.
For real.
Like whoever you are, even if you're like the highest paid model in the world,
Yeah.
or like you're rich, you're like the 1%. Everybody is gonna, in like some way or another, they're gonna have some insecurities, something that they'll find a problem within themselves, And I think for girls in general, it's very hard not to compare ourselves when especially like with our generation, everybody has a phone, everybody has access to social media.
Yeah.
And you know, before the way that social media was used, it wasn't so, how do I say, like superficial, very much about like the trends and like, you know, what people look like.
Yeah.
It's just like showcasing this standard that is mostly fake and you can't really reach it by a natural way, right? And like if you see that every day, it's like it's subtle. It's subtle. You're not gonna notice how much it affects you until you're depressed, you know, until you're like, you know, you hate your body. So like, you know, I feel like I did also have some image issues, like especially with, you know, my skin tone and stuff like that. But you know, as like both of you have said, I don't think I was able to fully accept that the way that I looked is how God made me until I encountered God and until He told me that was beautiful. Because, you know, we are all really, come on, we're made in God's image. Everybody is beautiful in their own way. And, you know, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to make you cry. Like, I'm gonna make myself cry. But
Okay, try.
But for real, like every day I will look in the mirror, not to be narcissistic, not in a narcissistic sense, but I look in the mirror and I'll be like, oh, I think I don't know, my lips are really pretty today. Oh, my hair looks really nice today. And it just like, it helps, you know, to like, if no one's gonna say it to you, then either go back to the Bible, you know,
there you go.
go back to the Bible, obviously, first thing. Or you could tell yourself, you know, daily affirmations, and then in the end be like, you know, we are made in God's image, you have nothing to worry about, you know? So there was that, like, you know, it's not easy, honestly, once you realize it, that, you know, sometimes you can forget, right? But, you know, just try to remind ourselves every day, you know, keep reminding each other, you know, that's how we can help each other. So, yeah, that's it.
You look pretty today.
Like, you look pretty today too. You look good today too.
You look great.
Yeah.
You guys too.
Thanks.
Thank you! Just to wrap this up, is there one piece of advice to those who are struggling with these kind of issues and insecurities?
Yeah, so I said earlier, I'm still struggling with it to this day. But obviously when it's just kind of like, I'm like, know who you are, definitely in like the presence of God, right? There's so many Bible verses out there, like just proving like why God loves us, right? And just like that fact alone should make it enough for you to just continue living life, right? Like try not to think about those things. Why? Just God loves us so much, and there's really no time for you to be doing that. It's as easy for me to say as it's really unnecessary to be thinking about like stuff like that, like those negative thoughts and stuff. It's gonna happen. We're only human, right? But that's why you really gotta know yourself in the presence of God. Like for example, just like even like when I'm talking right now, like it's actually, yeah, I haven't been having the best time recently, but I know that I want to do this for God, because again, He loves me so much, and that's really all that matters. And that's why I came here. That's why I still go to the Tuesday to go prepare for Wednesday. That's why I still go to the youth. That's why I still hang out with everybody, just so I could be a light to everyone else, right? Because I know a lot of people, they're probably feeling the same way, right? And just serving God really like helps me know who I am in the presence of God, right? I'm so loved. All of us, we're so loved, right? And that's really all that matters. And that's why I said in the beginning that once you realize how I pretty much summarize everything with like a walk with God, it was never about you in the first place. So that's why you really shouldn't be thinking about the stuff that you have right now, right? Like, and this is not our glorified body, right? You don't really know that till you get to heaven, right? And God takes heaven away and makes it a new one, right? You don't really know that yet, right? So another one is try to live in the present, right? I know, I mean, especially for me, like I'm trying to cut down the weight, but I'm doing that for just to glorify the body that Christ gave me now, like God gave me now, right? Because we're the bodies we have, it's a temple, right? And doing it for that reason makes it a lot better. I'm even alive. Because when you do it for a different reason, it's like you're gonna do it out of anger. I definitely feel like experience that. You're going to the gym, right? She doesn't like me back, right? Like I've done that before. You're gonna do it out of anger, right? So yeah, definitely some advice I give you is know yourself in the presence of God. And how you can do that is you go serve Him, you go out there, you be a light to everyone else, right? And another one is really like live in the present, right? And try not to worry about what you're doing tomorrow, or like, oh, I'm gonna have this body tomorrow, oh, I'm gonna get a haircut on Tuesday, right? Because those are definitely things that can like kind of like have you lean on things when you should be leaning on God Himself. And when you do that, like you just gotta pretty much just serve Him. That's how you're gonna know who you are. Like it's an amazing feeling that on stage I can't replace it. Like being on stage, praising God, singing my heart out. It's like trying my hardest to give Him back all the praises because He loves me so much, and that's really all that mattered in the end, right? So like all that matters in this world is God. That's why I always say it was never about you in the first place.
And I think that self-worth and self-value is really hard to find by yourself. Especially if you're trying to find it within other people. So what I can tell you viewers is that the only one who can really make us realize and make us feel loved, make us feel valued, is God.
Yes.
Simple, it's nothing less, nothing more, right? Yeah.
Alright, let's welcome Queen Tom. 1, 2, 3. Nice.
There you go. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, thank you so much for this wonderful conversation. I really understand that we're discussing now about the value of a specific person. Sometimes it's so hard to really find our own value, especially if we're living in this world and we're trying to convince ourselves that we are most valuable. We really want to have the confirmation from a lot of people based on their standards and based on what our own perspective. So most of the times, there are 3 things that we try to implement in ourselves to find our own value. Number 1, we're trying to impress people according to what we have in our physical appearance. So our physical appearance may be the best thing that we could ever have because we are thinking that the standards in this world should have a fair complexion, good hair, pointed nose, you should have this type of height, and this should be the ideal weight, you should be muscular or something to that effect, because those are the idea of the society. But always remember, even you Vince, even for both of you, the girls, even for me, we are uniquely created by the Lord God Almighty, and that creation that He made is perfect. So no matter who you are, what is your physical appearance right now, it doesn't matter to God, because what matters the most to the Lord God Almighty is the position of our heart. How beautiful our heart is. Because this physical body will end up soon. And it will go back to dust. Okay? Some people are basing their value according to their position or their power that they have in this world. Sometimes he who rules, the managers, the supervisors, sometimes they are the most powerful people in our society, and sometimes we are so much afraid of them. But what if you are powerful today and then all of a sudden you lose all of these things? Because come next time, in the future, you might be resigning, or you might be in a senior citizenship that you can no longer work. What if you do not have this position? Do you think you will lose the value that you have in your life because you no longer have this power in you? Of course not. So always remember that our possession, our power, all will vanish because it has been already given to Jesus Christ, that all powers and authority is given upon Him. So if we will give the authority of Jesus Christ in us, then we will find our value the most in our lives. And third thing, sometimes we are looking forward doon sa tinatawag nating possession, or the wealth that we have. Sometimes the way you dress, the way you look, how many golds you have in your earrings, how many diamonds you have in your rings, or how much is your clothing, how much is your pants, how much is your shoes, how much is your car. Sometimes we are trying to put the value of us in our personal perspective on how much you wear. But always remember, all of these things might be an increase of your net worth, but not a self-worth. What if you became poor? What if you no longer have something to buy for those fancy things? So what does it mean? Do you think you will now be down, frustrated, anxious, and everything? Why? Because you put your value according to your physical things, you put your value according to your position and power, and you put your value according to your possessions. And what if you no longer have all of those things? Right? So the root word or the root cause of these things, my dear brothers and sisters, just want to give you a share. It is about pleasing people. Always remember in this life, if you want to find your value, don't please people. Please God, and you will find the value of your life. In Matthew chapter 10, verses 30 and 31, it says here, even the very hairs of your head are all numbered. And always remember, this is the second verse. So don't be afraid, you are worth more than many sparrows. If God is feeding these sparrows, these animals in the field, we are more worth than anything else in this world. So know your value, know your worth. You are always loved by God. So no matter who you are, where you're from, no matter how big and how much sin you did against Him, the love of God is constant, and He is always have a value seeing you from heaven. That's why God is always hearting us. Opa. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you for your
Words of wisdom!
So thank you once again for everyone for tuning in to this episode about self-value. We know that everyone is struggling with different aspects of self-value, like self-image, like appreciating yourself, loving yourself, all that kind of things. So we hope that you really took something from this, appreciate yourself, you're beautiful. God created you. Yeah, so thank you.
And if you guys have any more questions or anything that you want to share with us, your own testimony, then you can leave that in the comment section. And before you leave, you might as well subscribe, leave a like, ring that bell notification.
Every week,
Every week, we'll come back, Thanks for joining us today. And
Thank
we'll see
you
next time.
to our guests.
Yes.
And Kuya Tom, thank you.
Yeah.